What if I told you the real key to controlling your blood sugar wasn't hiding in your medicine cabinet, but was actually sitting in your pantry? Today, we are talking about 4 absolutely essential minerals that might just be the missing link you've been searching for, the hidden tools your body is crying out for.
I know how frustrating this is. You're doing everything you're supposed to, right? You've got the diet, you're exercising, you're on top of your meds, but those numbers just won't budge. What if the problem isn't about your effort, but about a hidden deficiency that's working against you?
For so many people, the real culprit, the hidden saboteur, is a silent mineral deficiency. You see, these tiny little components are like the spark plugs for your entire metabolism. They're absolutely crucial. So when they go missing, the whole system just gets thrown off balance, no matter how clean you eat or how much you move.
All right, so here's our game plan. We'll start by really understanding the problem. Then, we're going to dive deep into our toolkit of 4 amazing minerals: magnesium, chromium, zinc, and one you might not know, vanadium. And don't worry, we'll wrap it all up with a simple action plan. First up is magnesium. I want you to think of it as the calming conductor of your body's entire orchestra. It's in charge of over 300 different biological reactions. Without it, your whole metabolic rhythm can just fall apart, especially when it comes to your blood sugar. So, do any of these sound familiar? That constant tiredness, the muscle cramps, those intense sugar cravings, or maybe just that feeling of brain fog? These could be your body's way of screaming for help, telling you it's struggling to use insulin. And this is a huge issue. Almost half of all seniors over 60 in the US are deficient in magnesium. But here's the good news. When you get your magnesium levels back on track, the impact is, well, it's huge. Just look at these numbers. It can boost your insulin sensitivity by nearly 25%. That means your body gets way better at using sugar for energy. This can lead to a 15% drop in those stubborn morning numbers and a 20% reduction in post-meal spikes. It basically helps your cells actually listen to insulin again. So how do you get more? Well, food is always the best place to start. Things like pumpkin seeds, spinach, black beans, they're all fantastic. Now, if you're thinking about supplements, brands like Pure Encapsulations or Nature Made are pretty common. A lot of people actually find that taking magnesium in the evening really helps with both their sleep and their overnight glucose level. Okay, a quick but really important heads up here. You have to be mindful of the dose. Too much magnesium can definitely cause some digestive upset, and it's especially important for anyone with kidney conditions to be careful, because their bodies can have a hard time filtering out the excess. All right, let's move on to our next mineral, chromium, which I like to call the insulin spark. So if magnesium is the conductor, think of chromium as what actually turns the key in the ignition. It's the signal that tells your cells, hey, open up and let that glucose in. This quote just says it all, doesn't it? It's that missing spark. And here's the crazy part. Because of modern soil depletion and all our processed foods, a lot of us are walking around with this deficiency and we don't even know it. Without that spark, our insulin receptors get lazy and slow, which is pretty much the definition of insulin resistance. And check this out. The results of getting enough chromium can be pretty dramatic. Studies show that when you correct a deficiency, you can see an average drop of 18% in those stubborn morning fasting numbers. And it doesn't stop there. It's just as powerful after you eat. By helping your cells respond to insulin the way they're supposed to, chromium can slash those big post-meal glucose spikes by as much as 22%. That means more stability for your body all day long. You can find chromium in everyday foods like broccoli and green beans, but the amounts can be kind of small, which is why supplements are often used. Brands like Now Foods and Nature's Bounty usually offer it in the picolinate form, which is just a fancy way of saying it's easier for your body to absorb. And as always, we've got to be smart about this. Really high doses of chromium, we're talking over 1,000 micrograms, can cause problems. So you definitely want to be cautious, especially if you have any pre-existing kidney or liver issues, since those are the organs doing all the heavy lifting. Our third mineral is zinc, and I think of this one as the cellular guardian. Zinc is a powerhouse. It's involved in everything from healing wounds to supporting your immune system, but it also plays this critical protective role when it comes to your blood sugar. Just look at this chart. This highlights one of zinc's most important jobs. It helps protect the beta cells in your pancreas, the little factories that actually make your insulin, from getting damaged. Look at the difference between those 2 bars. With enough zinc, those crucial cells are almost 30% more protected. That is absolutely essential for your long-term health. So, where do you get it? Oysters are an unbelievably rich source of zinc. But if that's not your thing, beef, and even pumpkin seeds are also excellent choices. And for supplements, you'll find common ones like Solgar or Puritan's Pride pretty much everywhere. Now, with zinc, it is all about balance. Taking more than 40 milligrams a day for a long time is not a good idea. It can actually mess with your body's ability to absorb copper, which is another mineral you need, and ironically, it can end up weakening your immune system.
Okay, for our last one, let's talk about a mineral you've probably never heard of, vanadium sulfate. This one is really cool. We call it the insulin mimic because of the unique way it works in your body.
So what makes it so special? Well, it can actually act like insulin. It can go up to your cell receptors and activate them all on its own, telling them to pull glucose straight out of the bloodstream. This special ability can help take some of the workload off your pancreas, which is a huge deal. But because this is a trace mineral, the line between helpful and harmful is pretty thin. High doses can cause digestive issues for sure, and long-term use of anything over 200 milligrams could potentially lead to toxic buildup. So this is definitely a supplement that needs to be approached with care and ideally with some professional guidance. Okay, I know that was a lot of information. We've covered how each of these 4 minerals works on its own. So now, let's put it all together. Let's build a simple, actionable plan that you can actually start using today. Step 1, start paying attention and recognize the symptoms we talked about. Are you feeling tired, crampy, craving sugar? Step 2, always focus on food first. Start packing your meals with these mineral-rich foods. Step 3, if you're going to consider supplements, be smart about it. Choose them carefully, start with a low dose, and talk to a professional. And finally, step 4, enhance all of this with your lifestyle. Staying hydrated and getting some gentle movement in helps these minerals work even better. So we've put the missing keys back in your hand. Understanding the role of these hidden minerals gives you a whole new way to look at your health. The only question left is, what are you going to unlock?